Good morning, people of YouTube. So we are back again today with a very, very much requested video. We have the update to Aldamon for BT5. So Aldamon was a deck that I used in a collab video with Deb's Utopia. I played on his Rogue series on his channel with it, and go check him and that video out if you still want to see some BT4 content, but that game was intense. Like, Aldemon definitely put in work and did exactly what it was supposed to do. And I've been playing this deck quite a lot. Like, I absolutely love the aggression that it has. Like, people are doing this raising area meta where they're trying to set up, and Aldemon can kind of just get in there and just take out entire security stacks before they even get anything set up. And like, Lord Nightmon has to deal with this before it can go in for security. And by then, you've already taken out a lot of theirs, and you can just poke them the rest with, like, your Agumons that you're spamming out and stuff. So, gonna go briefly over what the deck did, or what the deck does, and what it got access to with the new cards. But Aldemon says, while this Digimon has a hybrid in its evolution sources, it gets plus 4k on your turn, and it just always gets security attack plus 1. So if you have any one of these cards in your sources, then you go up to an 11,000 power, and you're always going to have the security attack plus 1. If you have, like, the starter deck Agumon, you go up to 12k, and then if you activate Atomic Inferno, this card lets you target one of your hybrid Digimon. It gets plus 3,000 power and security attack plus 1. So, and it also gains the effect that if you get blocked, you get plus 3 memory. So, it puts them in a situation where they don't want to block you, because then you build up another stack or just put more aggression out. And if they don't block you, then you're taking out half their security. And it's just absolutely amazing. Burning Greymon acts as a secondary boss monster, because what it can do is go up to 9,000 power on your turn. So with the Atomic Inferno, it's a 12,000 power security attack plus 1. So Burning Greymon actually serves a very good purpose in this deck. And I am playing a couple more copies than you would expect to see usually, even though it doesn't have the Greymon synergy with the Nokia and the Agumons. Agunimon's still nice because it closes out games, and, you know, it's a hybrid for your sources for Aldemon. And Flamemon is the easiest hybrid to get in your sources. Plus, it has a nice searching effect. So these cards are all still your hybrid package that you're running to make the deck consistent. And, you know, as your primary win con, mostly. But then you have the kind of Agumon package. So you gotta play other level 3s in the deck to build up into an ultimate. And we got this new Tamer, Nokia, in BT5. So, something the deck was already doing was it was playing 4 copies of the Security Greymon. So it would add more aggression. Like, if your opponent tried to swing back at you, and they hit this in Security, then you just get extra bodies. Sure, this isn't going to be ideal to evolve into Aldemon since you aren't going to have any sources. However, it is another body that you can swing with. Plus, with Marcus, you get plus 1 memory whenever one of your Greymon swings. So it does gain you value, and it gains you board advantage, and that's key. So you were already playing 4 of these. Now, we're playing copies of Nokia as well. So if they swing in Security, they hit the Greymon, you get a body. You swing into Security, they hit a Nokia, you get a body. And the bodies that you can get are the old Agumons that are now so much better, because you can play them for free off of Nokia. Like, the promo Agumon just got infinitely better because it's a 5 cost to play normally. So, if you play it off of this, then you not only save a bunch of memory, but you get to pop a body because it doesn't negate on-play skills. This one's going to let you search for more Tamers, which is important in a hybrid-based deck because you need your Tamers to function. And it's really funny activating Nokia, playing Agumon off of Nokia, and then grabbing another Nokia off of Agumon. That's just always a funny play. And another thing that I wanted to point out is that cards like Trident Revolver get so much better with the addition of more Tamers. So I was in a situation testing against Lord Nightmon, and I activated Trident Revolver, popped the Unimon, played Nokia, summoned Agumon, and then pop their Starmon. And it was amazing. Like, you can use this to pop Pulsemon as well, and just, you gain so much value with Trident Revolver now that you have more Tamers to play. And just, your opponent is going to put more little bodies on the board because, like I said, this is a raising area meta. They are only going to build up their big stack in raising area and then promote it when they think they have game. So cards like Trident Revolver to pick off their blockers, and to do things just gets infinitely better. We still have cards like Aldamon because this deck also has a backup win condition in like Rookie Rush. And so that's why I have this out on the table as far as, you know, key cards in the deck. But the 5k on a 2k or on a 2-cost body is always going to be good. So this is what the deck is focused on doing. And we'll go ahead and get into the deck list here in just a second. One card I wanted to mention real quick before that is in BT5 we did get access to a card called Rowdy Rocker. What this does is it lets you place a level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand under one of your Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, and then you get to draw 2. So, people think that this is a good draw power in red. I disagree, because you are giving up this card in your hand and then another card in your hand to draw 2 cards, so you net even. So I don't think it's good for draw power. However, Aldemon does need to have a hybrid card in its source. So let's say you hit this Greymon in security, you evolve this into Aldemon, you can then Rowdy Rocker to put like an Agunimon under the Aldemon, and now you have a hybrid in your source, so you're hitting the extra 4k. I chose not to play this card in my deck because in testing it was too inconsistent and it clumps in your hand, and it's very easy to get a source under Aldemon. But this is a card that we did get access to in BT5 that you could choose to play. I am just electing not to. But, yeah. And I have people asking me about the new support in BT7. And yes, the new support in BT7 is amazing. And I absolutely love, like, Susanomon and the new Aldemon and the Burning Greymon and all that. But one thing that I want to direct your attention to is in the next set, BT6, we get Agumon Kizuna, the level 7, and the new tie. So the tie can let you warp Agumon into a level 7, and you can also evolve that tie into cards like Agunimon. So you're going to, or what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing a deck where I'm going to be playing Aldemon and Agumon Kizuna as my primary win conditions, and I'm just going to hit them in the face really, really hard. So while, yes, the new hybrid support in BT7 is super exciting, I'm much more excited to see the direction this deck takes in BT6 with that support, because Agumon Kizuna as a secondary win condition, I feel like will elevate this deck immensely. Just in its playability and its competitive viability. This deck is definitely a really good sleeper pick, and if you take it to a tournament where nobody is expecting it, I mean, why would they? Like, it's Aldemon. You actually have a chance to steal a lot of really good games off of really skilled people playing things like Purple Control, Lilith Loop, Green. Like, this deck absolutely destroys Green. It actually has a pretty okay matchup against Lord Nightmon as well, because you're just putting out a lot of aggression, and if they can't deal with it early, then you win. And that's just how it is. So, yeah. We'll go ahead and lay out the deck list so you guys can see it and go over some of the ratios real quick, and, yeah. Alright, guys, this is the full list. So, we got a bunch of rookies. They're all either Flamon or Agumon or Aldamon. The Aldamon is there, again, because he's a big beater. With the tie, he hits 6,000, so that makes him hit over most of the blockers in the format, or at least trade with the ones like Unimon and Woodmon that are 6k. And then we have 3, 6, 7 Agumons that we can drop for free off Nokia. Nokia also makes this Greymon a 1-cost to evolve into, so it actually makes the Greymon a pretty neat Evo ramp card. And as for other 1-cost to evolve into, I do play one Monochromon right now. I'm not really sold on it. I was playing 3, then I cut it to 2. and now it's at 1 just because this deck only really uses blockers to protect Aldamon. And typically, the first time you swing with Aldemon is early game, and you don't really have enough time to establish a second stack at that point, and your Aldemon isn't going to be in danger yet. So, I don't know. I could bump Monochromon up, but with testing, I don't really feel like I need to. If anything, I think I'd cut it down to play another Greymon whenever more good Greymon cards come out, or like whenever the starter deck Geo Greymon comes out, whenever we get the Aldamon decks. That's going to be a very good inclusion, because then you can play up to 8 Greymons that come out of your security, and that's just going to be nuts. One card I did want to mention is this Geo Greymon from BT4 as well. I'm not playing it right now, but the Monochromon could easily come out for it. It's just a Digiburst 2, trap or delete something that has 4k power or less. So, if you have Flameon in your sources, you won't have a hybrid anymore, so then it just becomes the body. But it's the same concept as the regular Greymon, where you can still swing with it, get the extra memory off your Marcus, and things like that. We have 4 Tamers that we can evolve into our hybrid Digimon. I did cut one of the ties to make room for more Nokias. And we have this Agumon to search the Tamers, so I don't really feel like I need more than 4 red Tamers in a deck like this. And again, whenever BT6 comes out, these are going to be, or we're going to play the new tie as well. So the Marcuses will probably go out for the new ties, but the starter deck Tai Kamiya that just gives all of your Digimon plus 1k will always be a good card. It makes you hit certain magic numbers with certain things, like makes the Otamamon 6k, makes the Aldemon after the boost 12k. You know, Burning Greymon goes up to 10, so it hits over every level 5 in the game. You know, things like that. But yeah, this is the list, guys. It's pretty streamlined and straightforward now. It's less all over the place. It's more focused on getting bodies out quickly, like with the Greymon and the Nokia package, or building up into Aldemon really quickly and making a big stack, like you see with these hybrid cards or the Flamons. Again, I mentioned that I'd played more Burning Greymon than you'd expect in a list, and I'm still playing the 3 because I think it's really important to have the 7 boss monsters to activate with the Atomic Inferno. And if you're thinking about playing any less than 4 Atomic Inferno, you're crazy. This card is nuts. If you activate 2 Atomic Infernos on the same body, then you just win the game right then and there. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's absolutely bonkers. Like, Atomic Inferno is the reason this deck succeeds most of the time. And then, Aldemon is just a good boss monster on his own. We have cards like Trident Revolver and Gaia Force to eliminate threats. And then we just have a bunch of cheap rookies that apply pressure, a bunch of Agumons that we can drop off the Nokias and apply pressure. Do kind of want to find room for a 3rd copy of the promo Agumon, but honestly don't know what I'm going to take out for it. Maybe the Monochromon, but I really like the number of level 4s that I'm playing. So, yeah, that's basically the list, guys. BT5 didn't give us too many cards that directly made this deck better, but it gave us a couple new cards that made old cards so much more viable in a deck like this. So it's a lot of indirect support that somehow just makes this deck even stronger than it already was, and it was a very good sleeper pick. And again, if you're somebody on a budget, like Aldemon is like a $3 card max. You know, Gaia Force is the most expensive card in this deck, except maybe the promo Agumon. I don't know what these are going for, but this, if you're a new player, or you just want a fun side deck, or, you know, you just like red and you like going fast, I highly recommend picking these cards up, because when Agumon Kizuna comes out, I guarantee you I will top a tournament and these cards will go up in value. And in BT7, if I don't manage to do that, in BT7, whenever the new Aldemon comes out, and the new Emperor Greymon comes out, and Takuya, or whatever his name is, comes out, then this deck will be a top meta contender. Unless it isn't. You know, only time will tell. But thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll see you guys next time.